Hello, my balancing beauties. How did everyone get on with week 1 of the balance challenge? From what I'm hearing, there were lots of people embracing this and getting family members involved, which has been really, really great. So I hope that through the first week you saw a little bit of improvement week on day through your balance. And now we move on to a different balance, and I'm offering up tree pose today. So tree pose is a great balance because there are lots of levels to this balance or modifications to this balance, so it's accessible to most people. So let's get on with it. Warming up those feet in the same way would be a great advantage, and perhaps even doing a couple of last week's balances before you attempt this one would be a good idea too. And just as with the balance last week, using a nice smooth steady breath is going to help. Engaging those core muscles is going to help, and finding a point of focus somewhere right ahead of you will help as well. So that being said, let's move on with the balance itself, and let's go for one of the entry-level versions of this pose, and that would be to take the heel of one foot and place it on the front of the standing foot. So you can see when we do this, we're turning and opening that hip on the non-balancing side. There's a little bit of softness at the knee. And this is still a balance because we've got less foot in contact with the ground than we had when we're standing on 2 feet. So heel on top of forefoot, and the breath is smooth. Maybe we can bring the hands into prayer. Maybe we can take the arms up in the air. Maybe we need the assistance of a chair or a wall or something else. So when you get there, counting your breath or following a clock, something that you can measure the time that you're in this balance, hopefully discovering tomorrow you're there a little while longer. So we can increase the challenge on this ever so slightly by taking the tips of the toes of the non-balancing side onto the ground and bringing the heel onto the inside of the leg above the ankle, butts of the standing leg. So there's even less contact between foot and floor now. So again, we've got the chair. We could bring hands to prayer. We could raise those arms up in the air. And then if we want to challenge further, we could bring the sole of that non-balancing foot onto the inside of the standing leg, somewhere below the knee. And to challenge further, we could bring the sole of the foot right up onto the inner thigh. And if you're going to do that, it's a good idea to really push the sole of the foot against the thigh. So the thigh's pushing against the foot, foot pushing against the thigh, keeping the contact between the two. And as before, when the standing leg tires, see if you can catch yourself before you start to wobble. Exit the pose, and then remember to do the other side. So use the breath, focus on the breath. And if you're going to measure the time that you're in the breath, measure the time that you're in the balance, you could use the breaths, you could count the breaths in, breaths out, or you could use a clock if that's easier. Generally, we're hoping to feel or notice an improvement throughout the week as we prepare for next week. Keep in touch, let me know how you're getting on. I really enjoy hearing the stories about these balances. Namaste.